What's up, my brothers? From another mother, got a requested video, a sponsored request from a young Dutch man, 24-year-old over in Europe. Before we hop into today's request, shout out to my channel sponsor, the Tactical Soap Company, Pheromone Infused Soap. If you check out with coupon code Coopler, you get 10% off. It's handmade stuff, and in the United States, it's a guy that supports the creation of masculine content. So if you enjoy what I do, consider supporting the channel by grabbing some Tactical Soap. Let's hop right into it. Gentleman says, love your stuff. If I'd never found you on YouTube, I wouldn't be into developing my masculinity in game. He's got three subjects: work, game, and sports, and there's some background. So here we go. I'm a 24-year-old man, live in Holland. I still live with my folks. I have a day job as a salesman in a marketing agency because I want to really be good at sales. And after work, I'm trying to build my own e-commerce business. I'm still a virgin and never had a girlfriend. I'm not gay. I'm hugely attracted to women, but because of my lack of courage in the past, because I didn't have any strong male role models around me, I have never felt comfortable and have always been insecure about everything. Every time I was around women, I would get incredibly anxious and didn't know what to say except for the standard interview questions. What do you do? How old are you? Etc. How do I learn to relax, just freaking enjoy the moment instead of getting into my head around women? We'll get into that in the three questions in a moment. Says I was in Miami a few weeks ago for a conference, had a good time with my roommates who also attended the conference. And this girl who was really into me really likes me now, and I noticed that I could just relax and have fun in social situations. Great. Okay, I stepped outside my own environment. Cool. When I'm in my own environment, my city, job, social circle, people know me, but in Miami, no one knew who I am, so I could just take the identity that I wanted to be like. Yeah, you could act as if whatever you want, wherever you want. Everybody kind of does that. My parents have always been married, but they should have never been with each other in the first place. My dad has had some issues with his own family because I think his dad didn't value him as a son. Therefore, he always been shy. Never took risks, never taught me how to do. How to is negative, gets angry quick, blames others for everything, and will never blame himself for his own mistakes. That's a very feminine trait. If you're not, if you're a man and you don't take ownership for where you are in your life, that's tough. I get it. Anyway, mom and dad, who was around but only interacted with the kids if needed something, getting work done. Explanation: she swears that her mom was 10 times more valuable than almost all the men around her. Ooh, okay. Typical for women with daddy issues, yeah. Although my maternal grandfather wasn't the aggressive or jealous type, I just never understood why my mom would then marry someone who was just like her. That typically happens, A lot of the times, I've seen a lot of evidence of this anyway. Guys that I've talked to, guys that I've coached, even some friends and people in my inner circle where you kind of try to reconcile your childhood indiscretions, not even so much the indiscretions, but things that were missing from your childhood with somebody that was like one of your parents. It's a bizarre behavior. I don't understand it, but it's something that I think everybody should be aware of anyway. A man who doesn't pay attention to his kids, that doesn't care. She turned to me and my brother into mama's boys, and now I'm kind of repulsed by it. Well, at least you're aware about it, man. You can do something about something when you're aware of it. Since she was 17, I've been interested in self-development and sworn to never become a loser like my parents or some other loser family members. Long story short, I am now starting to take risks, show some courage, stand up for myself, and not let people walk all over me. But I am not where I should be at this age. It took me a long time to figure out everything for myself, and now the pain of regret. Okay. A month ago, I participated in a boot camp for pickup artistry. Oh, fuck, here we go. In that 3-day boot camp, I have learned some things that I already knew. I get stuck in my head a lot and don't know how to respond to the world around me because I can never relax, but I can also never be. See, these boot camps, guys, they're full of blue-pilled betas that just learn a little bit of confidence and how to make a certain number of approaches. I've talked to guys that have been in these boot camps, and you've got like a quota, like you have to make 50 cold approaches in this night district. And, out of the 50, of course, you're going to get a couple of numbers if you're persistent. But I mean, you don't have any true game behind that that's going to allow you to navigate accordingly. Man, honestly, dudes, like be careful with these PUA boot camps. Okay. I've not met anybody that after the fact said that this was worth my while. I mean, comment below. Have you been to one? Am I wrong? Let me know, dudes. Since I was 11, I've had a porn and masturbation habit that was out of control for a very long time. Now it's starting to cool off as I do a few times a week. This habit has affected me a lot. My entire teenage years consisted of playing video games, watching stupid YouTube videos, jerking off and watching porn, or thinking about hot girls in school, being shy, socially anxious, and never being the adventurous things most guys want to do. All right, here's the questions. I've got a lot of goals or problems that overwhelm things I like. One, I want to build a highly profitable e-commerce business and live the life I want, not depending on some boring AF job, surrounded by colleagues who only talk about going out, drinking beer, watching stupid TV shows, and people with two-digit IQs banging each other while filmed with a camera. Okay, that's a good goal, but you got some work that you got to do on yourself, man. I know a lot of guys that have built highly profitable e-commerce businesses that are still plugged in blue-pilled betas that get divorce raped. There's okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Number two, I practice Brazilian jiu-jitsu and I want to be incredibly good at it, develop discipline, courage, and consistency. I compete so I can win medals. All the kids I grew up with played soccer and they won medals at all sorts of prizes. I never play an organized sport. Okay, good. So that's awesome. Do it for sure. 100%. Totally support number two. And last but not least, I want to improve my game so much that I'm really good with women. I don't want to be a pickup artist like Mystery from the book The Game, who had a breakdown when his girlfriend broke up with him. I want to be of high value and in control of myself and still enjoy having women around me. How do I get myself to take action? Every time I need to work on my business, I work out, talk to women, I retreat, and don't take action necessary. I've written my goals down hundreds of times, but still can't get myself to move forward. I've changed my social environment and connected with young entrepreneurs, people with day game, night game, and people who work out. So that's a start. Last year, I got rid of all my loser friends. Good. Very good. You will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You know, you spend time with 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. You know, you spend time with 5 people that bitch and whine and complain all the time, you'll be the 6th, right? Good. Good for you. I know this is a long email. I'm addressing 3 issues here. Thanks so much. Seeing people like you makes me wish I had better male role models. So I don't quite know just enough about you, to be honest with you, my friend from Holland. I don't know what you look like. I don't know how tall you are. I don't have a lot of frame around what you do with your business. I know that you want to create an e-commerce business, but the fact that you're a 24-year-old virgin tells me that you got a lot of game to learn. And, you know, weekend boot camps to pick up artistry are, well, let's deal with the sports thing here. Let me just come back to this real quick. Do the Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Do, like, compete. One of the things that men need to do to be effective and to build confidence is compete and have wins out of the competition. There's even studies that have been done that show that your testosterone levels will increase when you compete and you win. Just happens, you know. It's just part of being a man and part of masculinity. So definitely compete. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a good choice. I'm gonna leave it at that. With respects to game and women, I'm concerned that there's more going on than just the stories you're talking about with your upbringing and your parents. I'm glad that you got rid of the zeros in your life and you've recognized that you need to upgrade your circle of influence. That's highly important and will have impact. I mean, you will see results out of that in the next 12 months for sure. 100% for sure. But the fact that, I mean, like when you went down to Miami and there was a girl that was interested in you, and you were unable to, you know, move in and close a deal. I mean, these are things that happen on business trips on a regular occasions when people go to conferences, go on business trips, go to Las Vegas for the weekend for a girls' weekend or a boys' weekend sort of thing. That's kind of why they happen. So it's a fairly easy environment to excel well at when it comes to engaging the opposite sex on the sexual marketplace and expressing interest. And of course, being intimate and, you know, telling an attractive woman that you want to share their, you know, their company, sort of thing. I'd recommend that you read Alan Roger Curry's Mode 1. I don't have a copy of his book here, but he has a direct approach to dating. And I think that would be very useful for you if, you know, if you've been kind of lollygagging around and, you know, prancing about the idea of being intimate with women. I mean, you clearly like women if you're got a porn addiction and, you know, you've stated quite clearly that you want to be with women. Dutch guys are usually quite tall. So I would imagine, I mean, as far as I know, from what I've heard, they're the tallest nation on the planet. So, I mean, you should have the optics of attraction for women. You know, the 6'6" 6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, 600 horsepower car, 6-figure income, 6 inches in the pants, 6 month out of a relationship. You know, if you can get a good start and you've got the attraction cues and the confidence that can come along with it, I think the confidence will come a lot from engaging in BJJ and, you know, getting into competitions and competing, getting your ass kicked and then kicking people's asses will be very, very good for you. It'll strengthen you. It'll strengthen your, your mind. It'll create some discipline. It'll be good. But I caution I want to build a highly profitable business with a blue pilled mindset. A lot of guys that I see get into business aren't, not to say you can't do it, but they're not nearly as effective and competent as you'd think. You can take Elon Musk as a prime example. He is a plugged in, blue pilled beta with some alpha qualities. Like the dude has made some really bad choices when it comes to women, and he pines over women in a way that's unbelievable. I did a video on him. I'll put a card up. Let me just make a quick note here. 10 minutes 46 when I do the upload. Watch that because I'll explain in detail what I'm talking about. You can be highly successful as a entrepreneur, put a dent in the universe, make electric cars that save the planet and all that bullshit, and the baby seals and polar bears and the ice caps. But you can do incredibly bad with women. I mean, he's a dude that was unable to launch the Tesla Model 3 properly because of a heartbreak issue with a chick, and that just should not be the fact if you're a legendary man, which arguably a guy like Elon Musk is. I mean, we'd be on the moon by now if he didn't have problems like this with women. Honestly, he's a guy that needs to book a coaching call with me. I'd fix that guy in a couple of days straight, no problem. But most of these guys don't see the problem. They don't see the overwhelm. They don't see the opportunity to optimize and become a better version of themselves. It's tough, dude. It's tough. Stuff like this is kind of wireframe for me. It's hard for me to come back at you with some more specific actionable ones. Guys, stuff like this is like a sponsored request. If you can give me a little bit more details, some more specifics about you and who you are. Again, these are all publicly going out on the channel for feedback from the community, but I think it's incredibly important to go a little further down the rabbit hole without droning on too long about the details. I'd really like to know a lot more about you and your engagement with this business, the kind of business that you want to build. It could have an impact on your life in a very dramatic fashion. Like it could really move the bar and create a lot of social proof, recognition. There's probably going to be some dudes that want to be you and women that want to be you as a result of the success. I mean, nothing is more attractive than a competent man. Nothing's more attractive than a masculine man that can get shit done, that isn't fazed by nonsense and garbage. And if you can get that part together, that'll be good. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will certainly build the backbone of that. Let me just quickly go back in here and make sure I didn't miss anything else. Work. Yeah, as far as work goes, the job that you have, JOB stands for just over broke. You're really never going to build that life of a legend, if you will, lining a marketing company's pocket with gold. So I'm glad that you see the need to create your own thing to put your dent in the universe. You've got some awareness around stuff. Like I get that you see that things aren't working. I mean, if you knew things were working and you were swimming in top shelf women, you wouldn't be making this request right now, right? So clearly you're struggling with something. I'm glad that the videos that I've created have been of some use to you and that you're getting some feedback. One thing that you might want to consider is getting into my men's community. There's a lot of active discussion kind of around ideas like this where you can ask questions about it, or you can chime in when somebody else creates a post with a share. There's tons of dudes in there that are having regular conversations about stuff like this, and we have learning events and premium content that isn't on the channel. So you might want to consider that. I'll show you where that is real quick. This is the request page. So if you want to make a request like this Dutch gentleman, you go to entrepreneursandcars.com/request. If you want to join the community, it's entrepreneursandcars.com/community. There's a quick explainer video how it works. You get access to the stuff. But this is like what a lot of guys need that are asking me questions like this is they need to be around men that are chasing excellence. And like the requests will get the ball rolling. It'll offer you some feedback, but as a minimum, you should be in a group like this where you have access to premium stuff. You get one-on-one engagement, direct engagement with me. Like we do these Zoom broadcasts a couple times a month now. And I'm always hosting them, so I'm always there and available to answer questions. But more specifically, I mean, if you want longer term one-on-one coaching, this rate's going up later on this year, but this is where it's at right now. So if you want to get locked in, it's 1 hour of monthly one-on-one coaching. Consider that. I hope this video offers some light. Consider keep pushing through. Chase the excellence. be on your mission, be on your purpose, figure out what that is, build some confidence, and that will come from, from some wins, whether that comes from getting your ass kicked and then starting to beat the, crap out of other guys in Brazilian jiu-jitsu during competitions. Competing and winning is very important. If you haven't had any kind of track record of that, and it can come from any number of ways, guys. I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be coming from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I never competed in martial arts, but one of the things that I competed on a consistent basis when I was a lot younger is I used to ride the crap out of sport bikes, Ninjas, GSXRs, things like that. And I used to get involved with guys middle of the night, doing, arguably really stupid things. Knock on wood, I'm still alive today. But, competing in some sort of sphere, and I would compete on the road with my bike, with skills. Some people would do it on the track. I went on the track a few times. There's any number of ways that you can do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It could be weight training competitions. It could be becoming a chess master, right? It could be any number of things that demonstrates competency and the ability to dominate and win. And those will build the confidence. But as far as the blue pill conditioning, if you engage with women on the sexual marketplace using PUA techniques without updating your beliefs and who you are as a man to become a stronger version of yourself, to really up your game, your level, who you are, tune in your masculinity, you're going to have some hard times with the chicks afterwards. You might be able to close the deal. You might be able to get them into the bedroom, but are you going to be able to have her around on a long-term basis? Are you going to be able to spin plates? Are you going to be the one that's going to be spoiled for choice? And I think a lot of that comes from understanding more intimate details. You should definitely go through Rollo's books here, the first two books at a bare minimum. And actually, Jack Donovan's work is really good too. It's going to help you understand masculinity and tribalism and the nature of men. So check those out. I'm going to wrap it up on that note. Kind of droned on a little bit too long on this one. Thanks for making the request today. Appreciate the support on the channel. Thanks for watching my stuff. See you guys in the next video. Peace.